Yo, what's popping? So we have the review from the June 16th matches. We hype. New meta. Very cool. So, first match, Florida versus London. Florida have 5 points, 4-2 in the regular season, plus 7 map differential. London 3 points, 3-3 with a -2 map differential. Ends up being a 3-2 London win. First map, Ilios, 2-1 victory for London. Florida playing Hydro and checkmate someone with Summerjet and Rupel. London playing Sparker, Shax, Poco, Admiral, and Landon. So haven't seen Poco play since the first map or the first match of the season for London. Interesting to see. Wells 198 victory for London. Florida playing Sojourn, Tracer, Balls, and BAP. London playing Sojourn, Tracer, Sigma, Brig, Zen. Very hype. This first one, Florida's looking kind of disjointed. Someone's being really annoying on the ball in the back line. It's causing London to kind of collapse back, and so Florida can collapse in around them from multiple angles. Looks good. Hydron's doing a lot. Poco does swap to Diva to help deal with the Echo. The checkmate swaps too early, but I don't know. It's very weird, and London ended up coming in on top, but it was very odd. It was like Florida had like one solid dive, but the rest of it was a little iffy. Didn't kind of hard to get the angles, I guess, on from your Sojourn onto the backline through a slam or something. Not sure. Ruins 195 for Florida. Both teams playing Sojourn Tracers and then London playing Sigma Brig, Florida playing Ball and BAP. Rupel had a pretty rough round and a rough match, really. There's a time where he windows and he insta-dives the Sparker on the Sojourn. Checkmate swaps over to the Echo again pretty early. And it's super back and forth, but it's like a brawly dive because they're diving, but it's not clean. It's like they're brawling it out once the dive goes on. It's very weird. London on the Sigma, it feels a little bit like Zarya, where you slowly take the space and wear them down, but it's more of like weathering the storm from the dive because you can't really stop the dive coming in. Someone's gonna be on the ball and he's going to get a slam and he's going to disrupt the team, but I don't know. It was very weird. Someone was able to land a huge pile drives and let Hydron easily hit the railgun shots with one shot you, and Checkmate could follow up easily on the Tracer or the Echo, depending on what he was on. The Brig kind of dissuaded someone, but not entirely consistent because you have to hit a whip shot in order for it to happen, and those can be dodged and things. But yeah, Rupel had a very rough time. Insta-died a lot. But despite that, Florida come out on top because Ball was very good on this map. A lot of good angles for him to find big pile drives that were easy for Hydron to hit, and ended up being a victory for Florida. So moving on to Lighthouse, 195 for Florida. Is that true? Yeah, I guess that's true. I feel like London won. What? Bad boys. I was like, no way that's true. So Florida playing Sojourn Tracer, Balls, and Brig. London playing Sojourn Tracer, Diva, Brig, Zen. The Diva coming out here right off the bat. Before it was like a way to maybe counter the Echo. Now it's just right off the bat, and it actually works out really good. Because the Diva can much more easily get to the high ground and get more value on dives based on where the enemy backline is compared to Ball. Let's say you're attacking the point and your Ball, you have to swing up into that high ground where the supports are, and if you slam them, they're going to be inside the house, so your Sojourn's not going to be able to follow up. Your Tracer might be able to, but they have to hit a really long flank to get in position. Diva can just go in and do some damage. Your Sojourn can take angles, and it's more like natural because Ball like kind of forces it, you know? Diva can poke them out, you can peel, you can have longer sustained dives because your DPS can be in longer, and it just felt better, or it looks like it was better, just with the geometry of the map. Pile drives don't get a lot of value. Swinging in doesn't get a whole lot of value because you can't really boot them out of the room. And the Diva looked really good. So that was the main reason. It was still very close. But Florida was pretty much just winning fights off of high drawing, just getting picks. Or like a London dive getting a little caught out, like Poco getting caught out, or Landon getting caught out, or something like that. But yeah, pretty much Hydron was the star of the show here since this entire match. Very good for Florida, and he was just winning them fights out of nowhere oftentimes. Very strong, no doubt. Okay, moving on to Eichenwald. 1-0 victory for London. So yeah, London were up 2-0 in this series. And they do end up holding on to it, but it was very close. So Florida and London playing the same rosters. Florida offense playing Sojourn, Echo, Ball, Zen, Bap. London playing Sojourn, Tracer, Sigma, Bear, Brig, Zen. Sermajet insta dies right off the bat, and Florida tried to stage from like behind with like Checkmate and someone like behind them, but London just ran at them, they die. And it's like a super long and drawn out staggered fight. Florida tried to take out Poco because he's like playing kind of aggro around the first tower corner, like on the right bit. But Shax just rolls the back line while they're trying to kill Poco. And Florida's really struggling to get anything going. London are using ults first, they're being more progressive, which is weird because they're in the ball. And Checkmate is just playing really slowly, and he can't find a way in. And no, someone's playing really slowly, and Checkmate can't seem to find a way in on the Echo. There's no angles he's taking that are really helpful. Someone does swap over to Sigma, and Flutter walk in, but they don't really keep walking. They kind of just stand there, and London just walk behind them, and Sparker gets some big Sojourn shots. But yeah, London's just kind of walking to the back line and killing them. Poco Flex hits a ton last fight, and Florida just aren't doing it, and London hold them up. London's offense, Sojourn, Echo, Sigma, Zen, Bap on the defense against Sojourn, Tracer, Sigma, Brig, Zen. Hydron picks Shax early 3 times in a row on the Tracer. 3 fights in a row instantly. Shax tries to do anything, Hydron just kills him, just dinks him, and he dies. And there's another time where Sparker goes super aggro alone on the Sojourn, and is collapsed on by Hydron and someone, and he just dies. And then London finally just get all their ults, and they almost lose, but they get their people back faster, and they manage to kill at the stragglers left on point. And Hydron very nearly made it a draw, like very close, just by being better, just raw gaming ability. Very close from Hydron to get that draw. Watchpoint Gibraltar, 1-0 for Florida. Florida playing same roster, London also playing the same roster. So London's offense, both teams running Sojourn, Tracer, Sigma, and Zen, with Florida running BAP on the defense, London running Brig on the offense. Hydron is just continuing to be a gamer. Florida like stands up in the soldier, but Rupal window like insta kills Poco one time, and it kind of stops any of London's progression. But Hydron is just unreal. He is just doing so much. Sermajed, however, is struggling a bit, as is Rupal. But Sermajed, his aggressive playstyle kind of isn't helping on the Zen because it's a lot more difficult for him to get big value on these flanks because he has to actually like shoot them instead of just throwing down an area of ability, and doesn't end up being as effective. Florida's offense just kind of rolled through with the same composition. They just go chilling right through it. Moving to Colosseo. Oh, it's off the screen. What the hell? Odd. There. Backbone comes in for Shax. Hadi comes in for Poco. Florida end up winning this 93.95 to 79. So kind of close. Not entirely, not like super close, but kind of close. So Florida playing Sojourn, Echo, Balls, and Bap. London playing their standard Soldier, May, Ryan, Lucio, Bap. If it ain't broke, don't break it. Although they do lose. And I'm not sure about the Soldier pick. So Hydron picks Backbone right away, and Backbone immediately goes to Somber off the May. And Hydron is just so good. He is just doing so much. He is just finding picks. Anytime London like approach at all from any angle, he is there and he's finding a pick on someone, whether it be Landon, it could be Admiral, it could be Sparker. He is finding a pick somewhere, and it is exceptional. There's a time where Checkmate goes crazy on the Echo. The Echo largely uncontested here. I guess there's Sparker on the Soldier, but compared to last patch, it's much more difficult to keep the Echo at bay because your damage is less. And I don't really understand the Soldier pick over Sojourn. The heal station doesn't really help you, especially when Sojourn just one-shots you, and Echo has a pretty devastating combo with your stickies and your beam. So it not really getting anything. And London are really struggling to push past the Coliseum, even when they control the bot, because Florida just chill around on the high ground, and it's very hard for London to close that gap. Also, The Sombra pick, I understand it's a ball rolls in and he gets hacked, but they rarely kill him off the hack. He just goes back in the ball form and just keeps going. I feel like May might still be effective here because you also get some better poke. You really is better poke on Echo, to be honest. Sojourn, it's more pressure. Sombra isn't a lot of pressure herself. Uh, and the May, you can freeze, you can slow the ball, and then you can also wall him off, and then you have a better chance of killing him just off a hack, I feel like. But I don't know. It's close. London do eventually make it out of the Coliseum itself, but it's pretty close, and it's not great. They find like a wall on, no, not even a wall. They just find like a hack or something on Hydron, and he ends up dying. But it's just not there, and it's even more difficult for London to like walk forward to the high ground because Soldier would just like poke you down and you get really low really fast, but Sojourn will just kill you. Like you'll just die. So it really is more difficult. Okay, now we are on Oasis. Why did I get? So 2-1 for London. They do not let Florida reverse sweep them. They don't have any of it. They're still playing the Hottie roster. University is 100-12 for London, but that is the Rhine map. Backbone insta picks Hydron, and then he just runs into Florida spawn. Like he just zooms into it and dies. I don't know what was going on. Admiral does trade for Ruble, which was big, and it allows London to stall for like an extra 30%. Right, so good for him. Hottie pins Hydron off the map, but then also gets punched off the map because someone's on Doomfist. I forgot to mention that he's just on Doomfist. And London flipped a point, and they're just running it down on Florida, and Florida just don't get it back. Doom is not disrupting or getting any real work done, and the Reinhardts are just running over them. City Center is 100-22 for Florida. Now, both teams on Tracer and Ball and Zen and not Brig, because Florida's on Sojourn, London's on Echo, Florida is on BAP, London's on Brig. But Florida just looked more effective on the ball comp. Backbone Echo, maybe not the truth. Hydron is just getting big value still, and Majed is still dying early, but is what it is. Checkmate is going kind of crazy on them too. He has his moments. Backbone dupes Sojourn. He does get 2, and London look like they'll flip, but then Florida come back and stall it out, and then they turn the tide of the fight, and they end up winning 100-22. So, pretty good. And then Gardens is just a 100-0 for Florida, or for London, not Florida. Florida playing Sojourn, Echo, Ball, Zen, BAP, and London playing Soldier, May, Rhine, Zen, BAP. London take the early high ground control, but they don't actually take it. Instead they run towards May, and they just kill Florida's backline. Hydron duels with Backbone, he falls low, and then Backbone just pulls up and finishes him. I don't know how he didn't get any healing. He is your carry, just pocket him, I beg you. Then the next fight, London they just pull up and blizzard the backline, and someone is literally doing air at this point. He is taking far too long to go in. London's just not looking at him. He's doing oxygen, and Hattie is doing the work. The final fight, he hides behind Florida and just hits a massive 3-man slam, and the chatty diff was real. So overall, Florida looked all right, but their hopes and dreams were just off of Hydron being like a god and positively insane. If Hydron isn't unreal, it's probably a 3-0. Maybe a 3-1, because London kind of looked a little lost on Coliseum, just because I feel like Rush maybe isn't the truth there anymore with how pokey it is. But, still Hydron doing the most. Someone Ball was all right, but he felt slow on his engages, and it only really played well on maps where Ball is like really strong, like on the Ilios Ruins, or that's really it. I typed Jib here. That's not really, he didn't play Ball on that map. So the Florida background is very underwhelming. Legit's playstyle does not translate well to Zen and Owl, I think, because you can't just run up, toss your nade, and then die and call it a huge play. He has to actually hit his shots on the Zen, and even if he gets into position, he hits some shots, you have to kill hit like 2 and not die. And the result is just him dying. Maybe it's not because the flanks are worse, but the time it takes to get value off the flank is higher on Zen than Ana. Because Ana, you throw the ability, even if you die, you're done. You did your part. On Zen, you have to hit your shots. You have to hit multiple shots, or it's just not there. London looked pretty good off of the rush, but I feel like it was more Florida being not good rather than London being much better. Uh, their rush, I think it still has potential. I think they'll still run it sometimes. Not sure about Calcio. Compton played a match going to Hydron. I don't care that he lost. He played so well, and he was the reason that match was so close. Insane Sojourn gameplay. Like, probably the best Sojourn from today. Stopping London in the tracks many times just by himself. And there was not like there's any setup from his guys a lot of the time. It was just raw. I'm going here. I'm shooting the dude, and he dies. It was spectacular gameplay. Moving on to Dallas and Shock. This was a 3-0 for Shock. Wasn't even close. Dallas coming into this with 7 points, 5-1 with a plus 13 map differential in the regular season. Shock 7.60 plus 10 map differential. But it's just a 3-0. Lee Jung was 2-1. Dallas playing Gurio, Sparkle, Fearless, Fielder, and Chios. Shock playing Sam, Proper, Mikey, Finn, and Violet. So Mikey immediately coming in, getting a start. Control Center is 158 for Shock. Dallas playing Cassidy, Sim, Ryan, Bap, Lucio. Shock playing Sojourn, Tracer, Balls, and Bap. So Shock take the outside positioning, and Sam gets a pick. Gurio is on a flank alone, but the rest of Dallas like walk up through dark up into the high ground. Gurio's just on the ground, and he dies to Proper. I don't know what he was doing. No idea. And then he swaps to Sombra. Dallas try to run up to the choke, like from their spawn, but Mikey boops Fearless past the window, and Fearless just rolls over and dies. Just gone. Oh no! Dallas run up to the choke from the point. They have control of the point, but Mikey just doesn't care and boops him through the window, and he dies. Fearless swaps over to Doom at this point, but Shock is just going hard on the backline. Whenever they have control of this point, very hard for Dallas to get it back. They just set them up, big slams, big gameplay from Sam and Proper. Win. Gardens 100-99 for Dallas. Dallas playing Tracer, Sombra, Doomzen, Briggs. Shock playing Echo, Tracer, Balzen, Moira. Not sure why. Gurio is in to play Cassidy and then Sombra and then Tracer, and he plays Tracer next map. I have no clue why Gurio is your Tracer player all of a sudden. It makes no sense. Why are you putting Sparkle on Sombra? You have Doha. Just run Doha then. I don't know. Unless they didn't expect a ball, but in which case, what? We've seen it multiple times. Surely it's meta. So anyway, Dallas wins this map 100-99. Finn is on Zen. Violet's on Moira. He is on Moira. And the weird thing is it's kind of working because Zen's Finn on Zen is sitting in the dojo off the point, and he just pulls up and he drops the heal orb, and Zen gets crazy peel. So much healing. And so when Finn is set up in that little room, it's kind of hard to displace him, but eventually they do find a way because they walk through white, and Finn can't really take any good angles there. Mikey gets pulse bombed and he dies, and Dallas takes control of the point. Sam swaps over to Sombra at this point. Chio hits a sick play where he bashes Proper with his pulse bomb and his shield and kills him, and Chio doesn't even die there. And then Shock tries to attack the point again. Violet fades in cold and gets punched. Fearless just punches him and he dies. But I don't know why he's on Moira. I don't know if it's because it's a comfort pick or because he's dying too much on the other characters, or if they just like putting the orb in the small room. But whatever it is, he was on it, and it wasn't awful. I didn't hate it. So I'm not sure. But Dallas ended up winning that map. Night Market, 150 for a Shock. Fearless is not finding big value on the Doomfist. Proper getting huge value. Fielder actually swaps to Ana to get back. I don't know. Proper is just going crazy, though. Proper is going so crazy. It's unreal. And Dallas just seemed to not have a cohesive game plan. I'm not sure. I have to say it again. Why is Gurio in to play Tracer? Why is he in to play Tracer? And putting Sparkle on Sombra. You have Doha. You literally just have Doha. And why are you on Doomfist? Fearless, we've seen his ball last playoffs. It's a thing. It was good. I don't know why he can play it. Just play ball. Just play ball. Doomfist was not finding nearly as much value. I don't know. Massive hate on the Dallas field right now. Midtown is a 1-0 for Shock. Edison comes in for Sparkle. Hanbin comes in for Fearless. And Kaluge comes in for Mikey. So Gurio still here. And on Dallas's offense, they run May, Sim, Ryan, Bap, Lucio. And this is not too weird. We've seen it before. But they're running Hanbin on the Ryan and Gurio on the May. And Edison's just in. They just have bench Sparkle and Doha. Dallas TP over to B side, but then Finn dies to a Hanbin Honor, and it looks like Dallas are going to win the point. They have it. But then Hanbin pins across the point, dies, and Dallas loses the fight. He just did not have to do that. Like, it was very close. He almost pinned Violet or Finn. I forget who it was. I think it was Violet, but he died to Sam on the Echo. So I don't know. They probably win that fight if he doesn't pin across the point. But whatever. Gurio swaps over to Cassie at this point, so that's good. And Dallas TP to the point house. Fielder insta dies after he windows, and Dallas just keep trying to do it again. But Proper kills 3, and Chakra just holding on. Proper Sojourn, pretty good, no doubt there. If there's a damage character, Proper is good at it. Just think of it like that. But Dallas ended up getting 65.1% on the point. Not bad. But you could have had it. You probably should have had it. Shock's offense, they're doing all right. Dallas is playing Hanzo, Tracer, Sigma, Bap, Zen. This is why Hanbin's in to play the Sigma here, I guess. Shock playing Echo, Tracer, Sigma, Zen, Bap. So both teams playing the Sigma. But, I don't know. Finn just kind of solo walks into the house on point somehow. And he takes control, and Shock pull up behind him. And then Dallas try to ult him in there. They just kind of chill, and they come out and use their own ults, and they win the fight. So it takes a bit. It does take a little bit. There's 2 fights or so before they get there. But Shock just kind of roll up and win. Circuit Royale is a 3-1 for Shock. Kilo comes in for Sam now. And you get the Widowmaker gameplays, right? So Dallas playing Gurio, Edison, Hanbin, Fielder, Chio again. Shock playing Kilo, Proper, Kalush, Finn, Violet. Dallas' offense. Oh shit, I was on pause, bruh. Okay, not gonna lie. I paused this recording. Don't know where it happened. I'm just gonna keep going. Whatever. It's really not a lot has been missed. Probably. No idea. So I think Gurio's played better than this. Probably his best map. I think he's played better than Kilo most of the time here. But yeah, Gurio kind of is feeling himself evidently because he's using walls a little early, and Kilo's returns after. And this is the wrong order. This is Shock's offense. That's why Guerrero using walls early kind of matters, because he was on the defense, and he didn't wait for Kilo to use his walls, so Kilo just waited, and then he counter-walled him. And he had a much more advantage, and they kind of went off of it. But Shock are winning their fights off of Proper Nanoblade the most. Not even Nanoblade, just Proper Blade, just going crazy on it, right? And while the neutral fights are pretty much decided by Widowmakers back and forth, the fight at the end, the ones that are really impactful, I would say, to get from one point to the next, are all from Proper hitting a blade. But there's a cool moment where Hama gets kicked down the stairs by Finn, but they still lose the fight. Because Chio on the Zen has actually been pretty good. Not like a Finn, but he's been pretty solid. So yeah. The weird part is when Shock get to the third point, they enter C with 235, and they just push the cart. Someone's just pushing the cart the entire time, and the Sigmas are kind of fighting on the outside a bit, but the cart's just going. And Kilo hits a sick angle, like he's inside Dallas' spawn basically, and he picks Fielder, he picks Gurio, and he just has a sick angle, and Dallas just gave so much space, and then they have no time, and then there's some sick cleanup from Kilo, and Shock just kind of get third for free. It was really weird. Dallas's offense, Shock just kind of hold them. They hold it on the first corner, or on the second corner, or the first one at the bend, but the second corner. And Kilo is kind of just picking Gurio every time he goes for a grapple shot, except for sometimes Gurio gets it back. It's like a Widowmaker duel, right? But Gurio is hitting a lot of grapple shots, and Kilo's picked up on it, and now he's looking for it, and he's finding it. But Dallas do make it through point A from a Gurio grapple shot on the Kilo, and then he can just do whatever. But Shock just kind of hold them out. They just get the ults. They have a Trank. Doesn't work out. And Shock end up holding them. So the overview for this match, right? 3-0 for Shock. Quick 3-0. I don't know what Gurriel was in the whole time. He played good on Circuit Rail, but that's just not his characters. Same with Edison, same with Hanbin. They're in for characters that maybe are not their own. Edison was playing Genji. I don't think I mentioned it. He was on Genji for zero reason. I don't know what was going on, but wild. Gurriel played well on Circuit Rail, probably his best map. And I don't know if he was in the whole time. Maybe they wanted him to gain confidence or something, and they just said, okay, you'll just play this whole match. But regardless, he had a good Circuit Rail. And moving forward, I really hope we don't see him on Tracer. He's just not your Tracer player. You just have Sparkle. Sparkle's not your Sombra player. You just have Doha. You're like, Shock looked good. Mikey impressed on his map. He looked good. About as you expect. The double flex support look very good for them. Hope if you're a Shock fan, you hope that continues. Player of the match still going to be proper. He plays very sick on the Sojourn, on the Genji, whatever it was. He was doing the most. He was being a difference maker in fights. He was turning fights. If Dallas looked like they were winning, he just killed 3. Who cares? It's proper. He can do what he wants. And he went crazy. Moving on to New York, Washington. I hate this. I hate this game. This game was so bad. Like, these notes are so bad because this game is so bad. I'm just gonna slouch back. Fix the pillow. Nah, this was bad because it's good. Look at my notes. My first note is Assassin Widow, not the truth. It's not. He was on Widow. He was taking a Kefri angle. It was not the truth. New York, when that one Lighthouse goes to Washington. Assassin Echo maybe is the truth, but Kellen sucks that ball. Like, it was really bad. There was a time where he just rolled off the map. It was like an important fight. He just rolled off. And this match was so uninspirational this whole time. Assassin played good on the Echo on this map, but New York's backline of Zen Mercy on Lighthouse, just nothing happening. Gumball was like, Gumball wasn't even in the game, bro. I don't know. On Well, New York went 100-98, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really pay attention though. Game Engine not on Lucio is pretty alright, pretty good, but and Kellen Sig looks like usable maybe, but Washington just win the rest. Happy comes in for Assassin. God bless. Why was Assassin Decay playing? Who knows? New York doesn't make any subs because they have their coach as their other player, just so that they can have 5 players. New York's offense on Kings Row was so bad. Happy was going brain dead on the server though. His Happy Sojourn going crazy good. New York was struggling to get anything going. In overtime, they used a bunch of ults and they got like some kills, but they didn't kill Decay. So you kind of have to kill that guy if you want to win. And it didn't happen, and they just didn't even get a tick. And Washington's offense, Yaki went down early, and New York just backed up and gave Washington the win because why not? Who cares? Why even bother contesting? Everyone wants this match over sooner. So just let it go. Route 66, 2-0 Washington. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Oh my god. There. Happy plays well. Really happy. Yaki is just pulsing his demons. He legit just tossed Pulse Bomb off of the cart into nothing. There was just nothing there. I don't know if he's trying to predict a recall. I don't know what his goal was, but he got the demons he was looking at. New York stopped Washington before the very end, partly because Kellen just throws a rock up on the truck and it hits Happy and he dies through the window. So shout out to that, and he hit a big flux too. But these teams are not looking great. I don't know. Some people are like, oh, Washington can be good this stage. It can be consistent. This was not a good look. I don't care, man. This was so not a good look. It's never been a question of the mechanical play. They have the mechanics, bro, but it's like, I don't know. New York's offense, they just can't do anything. They just cannot do anything. Both teams use like no ults the entire round, and then New York just trolled their ults. They used 3 ults, got no kills from it. Last fight, and Coliseum was kind of close. I just wrote very close. That's it. That's all I wrote. Because it was very close. Both teams played Sigma, Zen, Bap. Washington playing Sojourn Tracer, New York playing Echo Hanzo. It ended up being a 43-43 for Washington. So very, very close. But I didn't want to watch this game, bro. This game was so bad. It was not. It was so bad. And it's like both these teams kind of are just winning based off mechanical skill, kind of. And Washington has better mechanical skill, but overview, I don't know. New York just sucked really bad. Even still, I thought getting Jamal Lucio, they had. I saw the vision. Doesn't matter. Um, they still look awful. They have no game plan. They're just tossing ults away. They're relying on Yaki or Flora to pop off, but Yaki's just pulsing his demons, literally throwing it into the abyss, and just uninspiring bad gameplay straight up from New York. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about Washington. I hate watching this team. Uh, Happy was a god at Sojourn. Krillin was popping off on Zen. Mechanical skill all over the place on display, but they somehow looked ass as well, and I hate it. Player of the match goes to Happy because it's the only reason I smile when I look at the Justice. And I don't know. Next match, they're probably going to pop off. They're going to be like, oh my god, the Justice can be good again. Guys, look, guys, Washington's really good, I promise. But no. This team. There's 19 teams in Overwatch League, and Washington does not have a team, put it like that. So have yourself a good one if you watch this far. Don't worry about that video pausing. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know. It's just me looking at my screen. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe for more daily Overwatch content, and comment down below what you thought about the matches. Don't talk about Washington match. It didn't happen. It just didn't happen, okay? So yeah, have a good one. Let me find my mouse. Where's that, bro?